What's up, guys? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. You guys might recognize me. I'm Trendy Nay, and you are my audience. Let's go ahead and refresh the chat because the chat is not connecting. I just got really good tech support from XSplit Broadcaster. You know, you're just like, wow. You know, with these engineers, the software engineers out there. So, I'm trying to log into my XSplit Broadcaster, and it's bringing up the Brave browser, which I have, and I didn't realize it wasn't bringing up Chrome. And Brave browser has this little thing in the corner. It's the Brave Shield, and it shields you from seeing the internet. It's the dumbest thing. So I didn't know that. So I contact tech support. He's like, send me a screenshot of what you're looking at. I send him a screenshot, and he looks at it. He's like, oh, you've got your Brave Shield on. Shut it off. It's on that browser. I'm like, what a bunch of idiotic fucking engineers that designed this shit. I'm an engineer. Yeah, I'm gonna protect you from looking at a website that you need to see so you can log in. Yeah. Why is my voice gone? Was I screaming about something last night? Huh. I don't know. Anyhow, let me say good morning to you guys that are here, that are taking the time to say hello to me. Dom, Joe, Joseph, Nick. What's up, you guys? How's it going? Good to see you. So those of you guys who follow me on Twitter, that go out of your way to get on Twitter, you saw what I put up there this morning about the sugar. And I'm going to totally do that. I'm going to do that. I am going to stop eating as much sugar as I can because I want to get rid of this. I'm sick of this. And you know what this doctor said on a YouTube video? He said, when you stop eating sugar, he says your belly fat's going to just start disappearing completely because that's what's causing it. And he goes through this whole explanation as to why sugar causes belly fat. And you're just like, oh, you know, my whole life my mom's always told me don't eat sugar, it's poison. And I'm always like, yeah, like, it's like rhetorical, or it's like, you know, she's whatever. If my mom had said, well, what's really going on inside your body is when you eat sugar, your liver is, you know, and your fat cells are doing this, and your blood is doing this, and your glycose and your levels and blah, blah, blah. And then sugar doesn't allow you to take up nutrients properly, and it doesn't allow you to get rid of all the moisture in your body correctly, and there's so much wrong with it. Yeah, natural sugar from fruits is bad too. It's all bad, Nick. It's a misconception that eating citrus and fruit is healthy. It's not. Fruit is not healthy. It's full of sugar. Full of it. Sugar, and you know, my mom would say sugar is poison. No. Sugar is designed to murder human beings. Okay? Not sugar is poison. Sugar is designed to murder human beings. Does that ring? Does that ring true for you guys? Does that resound? Does that reverberate? Does that resonate with you guys? Sugar is designed to murder you. They want you dead, and they don't give a fuck. They want your money, and they want you dead. Seriously. Because if they didn't want you dead, they wouldn't be overloading sugar into their products and shoving it down our throats. They want us dead. They want to kill us. You guys need to realize that is the truth. They literally want to kill you. You need to realize that. And once you realize that, your whole thought process has changed. Because you're like, oh, so the food industry is working against me so that I will die. Yeah, crazy, right? They lose a customer every time they kill somebody. It doesn't make sense. But that's how stupid we are. We're human beings. We're only so intelligent. We only have so much capacity, you know? And to a lot of people, you know, loading people up with sugar and taking their money is the only way they can figure out how to fucking put food on their own table. It's insidious. I thought fruit had good sugar. Dennis, there's no such thing as good sugars. You see, you guys are all fucking being lied to. Sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar, guys. It's no such thing as good sugar and bad sugar. It's all bad. Sugar feeds death. That's what you need to know. It's 7:10. Let's smoke. Man, I'm so upset that my audience... You guys need to follow me on Twitter. Y'all need to follow me on Twitter and start watching the videos that I'm putting up on my Twitter, man. We'll watch this video. You guys need to get educated. This is horrible. I thought I was bad about it because I just ignore the facts. But you guys don't ignore the facts. No one's even told you the facts before. And this is really bad. So, give me a second here. Library. No, is it going to show? It's not going to show up on my library. Dude, I put it on Twitter because I'm so smart. I put it on my Twitter. It'll be up there. Oh, Nick, you saw the video. Well, then why would you ask me if natural sugar from fruits counts? Didn't you listen to what the guy said? Did you watch the video? He literally says that. All right, let's go there. Profile. What happens if you stop eating sugar for 14 days? This is the video. That was an interesting video. Why are you asking me about fruit if you saw the video? That's kind of weird. He's going to talk about it. It's only a 6.5 minute video.
The question is, what would actually happen to your body if you really gave up sugar, completely, for 2 weeks? Let's take a look at that.
Cheers.
One, you are going to lose your appetite to sugar. Why? Because every time you consume sugar, a hormone comes in there and pushes your blood sugars down, causing a low blood sugar situation, hypoglycemia to some degree, and that is going to cause you to crave sugar. So by getting rid of sugar, you get rid of the craving for sugar. Number two,
it's a feedback loop.
You eat less hungry. Until you do this, you won't really fully know, but I'm telling you, it's the sugar that keeps you hungry all the time. When you give up the sugar, you become a lot less hungry. Why? Because you stabilize your blood sugars. And now your cells can be actually fed, because when you're living on sugar, because sugar is toxic to the body starts rejecting it. That's called insulin resistance. So the body is blocking insulin because that controls sugar, and what your body's really trying to do is limit the amount of sugar inside the cells. So the body doesn't.
My microphones were far away. Sorry.
So when you give it up, this thing can reverse, and not only can you now absorb proper amounts of fuel, you'll absorb nutrients a lot better too, because insulin resistance also blocks nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and that's one of the functions of insulin. All right, number three, you're going to have less fatigue, especially after eating a meal. When you're eating sugar on a regular basis, usually you're going to be tired after you eat, and that is a blood sugar thing. But you're going to find that you're no longer going to be that tired after you eat. It just means that now you're no longer having higher sugar, which basically makes the brain tired. It's normal sugar, and now your brain can be awake. All right, number four, you're going to lose excessive water and fat. For the first week, you're going to dump a lot of water and some fat, but after that, it's going to be more and more fat.
Lynn Marie, right on. Thank you.
How much fluid you're retaining. Some people, within 1 week, can lose about 13 pounds of fluid. They're holding that fluid around, and that can't be that healthy for the heart. Of course, you're going to see your...
See, imagine that if 13 of the pounds that you're carrying around is just fluid. Think how much better you'll feel when you let go of all that shit.
Your clothes loosening, especially around the midsection. Your gut, your waist is one of the best indicators to tell if you're doing too much sugar. If you reduce the sugar, the stomach shrinks. If you eat the sugar, your stomach will expand. Okay? Number five, enhanced mood. So if you were grouchy before, you're now going to be a lot calmer, less stressed.
Hey, you guys, maybe Trendy Nay will go away if I stop eating sugar. Oh, what? Wouldn't that be crazy if I'm not mad anymore? Stuff doesn't anger me.
And you're going to be actually nice to be around. Okay?
I'm going to be nice to be around?
Cognitive function will improve.
No way.
So you're going to feel more
I think trending A is stronger than not eating sugar, but we'll find out.
focused. You're going to have more concentration. You'll be less ADD, more attention to focus on your projects.
I've always had
Number
ADD.
6, your skin's going to look much better.
I've always had bad skin.
Your skin-
I gotta tell you, everything this man is saying, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just taking them off my checklist. I'm like, these are all the problems I have in my life, all the physical problems, and it's like they're all root back to sugar. No, we can't have that.
It's going to glow, and that's just a reflection of what happens.
Can't have me fucking being nice.
Sugar, insulin,
Helene
and
Hendrickson,
that's
hello.
Androgens, and we're talking about females. Androgen will go up, and that's going to create acne. In a male body, the increased insulin will lower testosterone, so you're going to have other problems that are associated with low testosterone. All right, number 7, you have less stiffness. So you're going to have less
I have that.
inflammation. You're going to have less pain.
I have arthritis
So what's
and
happening is
inflammation.
all we're doing is we're converting your fuel from sugar to fat. It takes 3 days, okay, of cutting down the carbohydrates and sugar. You may have a worsening of the symptoms for 3 days, okay? Guys, anyone can actually handle 3 days. And if you took some B vitamins from Nutrition Release and some potassium,
He says
probably
B
won't have
vitamins and
symptoms, so
potassium.
It's going to be relatively easy. At the cellular level, you're building
The sad diet
enzymes
keeps people angry.
to run your body.
Cheers,
off
guys.
fat.
Thanks for sharing this on
Now, what
social
we show
media
is that
for
we're
me.
Literally changing over to a different fuel source. That's what's happening over these 2 weeks. You're getting decreased inflammation in your arteries. Okay, that's what's happening when you get off sugar. Less inflammation. It's going to help you in the long run prevent a clot or plaquing and help reduce the risk of a stroke and a heart attack. Also, you'll start growing brain cells. Why? Because when you reduce sugar, then you run your body on a different source of fuel. Start growing brain cells. Why? Also, you'll start growing brain cells. 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 Why? Because when you reduce sugar, then you run your body on a different source of fuel called ketones. And ketones support the growth of nerve cells. All right, the next one, the liver. You're going to start dumping some of this fat that's been accumulating in your liver, and you can use it as fuel. So you're on your way to cleaning out the liver so it's no longer fatty. By the way, as a side note, if you have a large belly, chances are you have a fatty liver. Okay, so by doing this, you will reduce the fat inside your liver.
Dude,
And lastly, you're going to have better kidney function.
this is that stuff I told Pinoy I wouldn't buy. I says it's too terpy, it's too strong. Look at me, guys. That's the kind of shit you take to a cannabis cup. And you dab all your friends out on it. That's what you take to a cannabis cup. And you're like, here, hit this. And they hit it, and they go down, son. They got to go find a seat. They're like, God damn, that DJ made my day. Holy shit. Brandy shared. ML and R. Have an awesome day. Trendies, y'all rock. No law regarding cannabis. ML and R. What does ML and R mean?
Take a look at a diabetic. The kidney is the target for problems. When you actually cut down the amount of sugar, reduce the carb, you can improve kidney function greatly. All right, guys, there you have it. You may want to try this. The proof's in the pudding.
All right, so you may want to try this. I'm going to try it. Because I want to get rid of that belly fat. I want to see those fucking ab muscles, bro. And, This is just going to be one more thing to get me closer to my goal. That doctor eats 4 eggs a day. That same guy that told you to quit sugar, he eats 4 eggs a day. He's got a video called Why I Eat 4 Eggs a Day.
So the question is, what would actually happen to your body?
The generational bottom. 26 minutes ago, Carl just tweeted that Bitcoin's breaking out. I noticed it was going upwards this morning in my portfolio. My crypto portfolio looked better today than it's looked in a month. That's a good thing. So hopefully you guys are noticing. And those of you guys that stayed in, hopefully you did. I hope you guys stayed in with me. Hopefully you're noticing. What, Brandy? Why didn't you ever tell me what ML and R is? What is ML and R? I feel like I'm out of the loop. It's better now than it was before. Bitcoin's at 36.1 right now. It did break out. Polygon is at $1.22. Remember, I was telling you to buy Polygon at $1.61. It's still down at $1.22, you guys. And my position on it is 35% positive because I bought more at a more expensive price, man, because I know I want more, because I know it's going to go way past $2. I mean, Matic's going to explode. Ethereum is exploding right now, 2,200. Huh. Cardano's at $1.40, so it's looking great. Still affordable. These are all... even Doge is at 26 cents, headed back up. Yeah, but 4 eggs a day. Holy shit, man. I'm going to start eating more eggs. Man, maybe I should get those chickens after all and build that chicken coop, you know? And that's something we need to talk about, guys. Eggs are the future. You know, eggs are your future. If you start getting on a 4 egg a day diet, I believe this doctor, man. I believe what this doctor says. After listening to what he said about sugar, I'm willing to listen to everything else he's saying too. And if he's saying 4 eggs a day, and we need to start talking chicken. And you guys need to start realizing what it takes to raise your own chickens. I know what you're thinking. You've never, ever once considered yourself someone who would have chickens. But you should start asking around, and you might find there's more people out there who are raising chickens than you realize. Processed plastic-made lettuce. Jacob, I have no idea what you're talking about, but tell me about it. I love my chickens. Nick Brown's got chickens, everybody. There you go. See? All of you know somebody who has chickens. There you go. There's a lot of people out there that think that that is something that doesn't concern them. But I'm here to tell you. I am here to tell you that if you have a garden and you have chickens and you know how to can. Nathan spanks his children. Oh, you spank your chicken. I read that wrong. Nathan, that's great news, Nathan. Thanks for sharing that. I saw a video where they're making fake lettuce with processed plastic liquids. They pour into a water-based liquid. Judging from looks, they dip it over itself in it. Plastic? 2-layer hens. When COVID hit, I got 11 of them. Everyone around me gets free eggs every day. Nathan says you're awesome. It's just safer to grow your own crops. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm here to tell you guys. Grow your own crops. Have your own chickens. Get your own food. You know, move to a house with a well. Move to a house on a river, on a lake, with a fresh water source that's up in altitude, that's in a safe spot. You know? So there's the the greenhouse as it sits right now. My cat, why don't you just stay outside? It's in and out, in and out, in and out all day with you, especially when I'm sitting. And you know, Dakota, hey, what's up, buddy? You eliminate all added. Eliminate. So it works like you eat like potatoes and broccoli for a week, then you introduce fruits and slowly nuts. You don't eat any oils whatsoever. You'll drop weight so quick. Oh, really, Brandy? Huh. That's an interesting sounding diet. You said it was called a McDougal diet or something? There's a beetle on my floor. I got a beetle catching device system. Harley, don't even act like you don't have food. Don't even sit there and act like you're not fed, bro. Like you don't have 2 bowls up there. It's like you're psychotic. Yeah, it's like you're a little psycho. You're a little psycho. Let's catch us a beetle. Come here, Mr. Beetle. Wow, that is a beetle capturing system. That is how you capture a beetle. With 2 pieces of cardboard, like that. That's how I capture little insects. I coerce them up onto the other piece of cardboard. Now I can let them go outside where they can be free and eaten by lizards. I don't know how the fuck that thing got into my house. I'm assuming it was on my cat. You know, it was somehow like on the cat, and then the cat came inside and it... Baba Blue Jaws! What's up, son? So they say that sugar makes you cranky, and I eat a lot of sugar. So I'm eliminating sugar from my diet. And I'm going to try to eliminate all of it. Which means... no more salad dressing, no more barbecue sauce, no more ketchup, no more orange juice, which I just bought two gallons of, no more Oreo cookies. I just went on Amazon this morning and I canceled all of my sugar deliveries. My almond milk, no more Life cereal, no more raisins, no more fruit, no more... I canceled iced tea. I didn't see the tea on there, did I? I got to look for that. I didn't see the tea. I got to cancel that shit. I'll be giving that away to my friends. Oreo cookie delivery. I get a case of that every month. Just from Amazon. And then I get ice cream from the local store. I won't be getting Ben & Jerry's anymore. No more ice cream. No more any of that shit. I want to see my muscles in my abdomen so much that yeah, fuck the sugar, bro. I'm getting closer and closer and closer, and I know I'm only going to get there closer faster if I take the sugar out of my diet. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to do it. And plus, I just learned some shit about sugar today where I'm like, dude, we're fucking killing ourselves. It's like sugar is designed to murder people. Sugar is designed. Thank you, Lynn Marie. Brandy. Yes, McDougall Diet, it works. There's studies. If you get a chance, check them out. His wife has amazing recipes, but basically there's a reason our taste buds react to salt and sweet. From Dougal Dr. Furman. It's up to you. They all speak the same, but so worth it. Yes, sugar is evil. Wait, raisins are fine. Raisins are full of sugar, bro. All fruit. Grapes. All fruit, bro. It's all full of sugar. Raisins have sugar. No coffee creamer. Right, no coffee creamer. Been trying to limit my sugar someday. Well, what you realize is you'll get angry. Beasel's here. Hi, Beasel. Hey, buddy. My bees. The bees. God bless America. Why am I... That's okay. I won't be getting so mad anymore. Bees. What's up, Beazle? How you doing? Can I say good morning? Hey, buddy. Hey. I always have a napkin here for you. Yes. Hey. Here you go. Baby. Hey. Oils, I quit sodas, dropped 20. Can you still cook with olive oil? Oh, I was cranky, but the result in a month and a half, I lost over 45 pounds, didn't have to take high blood pressure pills. Honey's good. Stevia. Honey? It was added sugars, fruits, and veggies. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Does honey have sugar in it?
There are 17 grams of sugar in 1 tablespoon of honey.
Yeah. No. Bab Blue Draws. No. Honey is not good. You're welcome. No, natural sugars are not okay, you guys. Sugar is sugar. Jesus fucking Christ. What do we have to do here? It's sugar. It's sugar. Sugar is sugar. Ask a diabetic. Bro, we just all watched a video about sugar. You're looking for excuses and ways around it. Oh, honey's okay. Well, stevia, maybe stevia is your way, bro, but stevia nicks. Fruit, right. Stay away from fruit. Stay away from honey. Stay away from sugar. Stay away from all of it. Barbecue sauce, salad dressing, all of that shit. And now Brandy's telling us oils. Dude, can you not jump up there? Is that the problem? Are you hurt or something? Where are you? Where are you? so stupid, man. That's why you can't jump up there. Dumbass. God, there. Jump down the way you fucking came up, man. And you're not hurting your feet. Right, Rogie? Right, buddy? Right? Why are you so beautiful? Huh? Why are you so beautiful? Who's beautiful? I gotta tell him every day how gorgeous he is. So what did we learn today? We learned that all sugars are bad, and if we eliminate them, maybe we can get rid of this belly fat. This is why I've always had this, because I've always consumed a lot of sugar. What, your other ears itching you? Is this ear itching you, buddy? That? Oh man, look at all that dirt that was in there. Does that feel better? Does that feel better? Damn, his ear was dirty. Does that feel better, buddy? You love your daddy. Down goes Frasier. Why you beesling? Replying to Brandy, that's not true. Fruit is great fiber, and you need that as well. Everything in moderate. Just know what you put. No, Lynn, you're wrong. It's sugar. See, this is the problem. No, fruit is not good. Avoid it. Get rid of all the sugar. Seriously. Brandy, I already look great. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much I weigh? I weigh 180 pounds. And it's all this. It's all fucking muscle. I look fantastic. I'm all no, I'm not. I don't look good. I'm lying. I'm bullshitting you. But I will. I mean, I can do this now. I can do this. You know? I can do that. Couldn't do that before. I would have killed myself if I tried to do that a year ago. Dude, I am eliminating that shit. I don't want it anymore. I'm just over it. I had no idea how dangerous it was, what I was doing to my body. When you find out about these people, they live to be like 100 years old. Yeah, I bet they don't eat a lot of sugar. People are like, yeah, they smoked cigarettes until they were 99. I said, yeah, how much sugar were they eating? I wonder. You know? That might be the fountain of youth right there. You know? You hope you reverse your diabetes. You know, we were talking to Doc. He says he's got that, and he was like, I've never even heard that you could reverse diabetes. And I was like, who's your fucking doctor, bro? How does a doctor not inform a patient that something like that is reversible? You know, it's not necessarily, not everybody can do it, but there's methods that at least you try to see if you can, you know? Thank you, Brandy. If it's not type 1. So what is type 1 in unreversible diabetes? type 1 is unreversible. And, it's always just been, I've always been worried that I'm going to get diabetes because of the amount of sugar I eat. Hey, man, let's look at the plants again. It makes me feel good. Just, I want to smoke. Yes. Dab, absolutely. That stuff kicked my ass. My ass is so freaking kicked right now. I got so high off of that dab. I'm going to give him his blanket here. Blanket. There you go, buddy. How much hidden sugars are in our food? Me neither. And the more I pay attention to it, the more I'm like, isn't it like it's almost like the sugar industry is in cahoots with the medical industry to keep us perpetually sick, to keep killing us so that we will keep going to the hospitals and becoming diabetics and paying all this money for the medication. And I don't know, man. It seems God bless America. Those plants are going to be ready to be fed again pretty soon. Throw in a bunch of fish fertilizer. And I've got something special for them. You know, this compost tea, I've got this whole bucket of compost soil. And when I pour that soil into that water bin right there, it's going to become the most active bacteria infested water. It's the plants are going to be so fucking happy with the fish oil, with the fish emulsion that I've already poured in there. It's just gonna, you know, because those mycorrhizae are gonna have something to eat because there's fish fertilizer inside the compost tea. So they're it's gonna explode. Paul H, how's the UK this morning, brother? Read labels, you'll be shocked, right? Lynn Marie, duh. Phil Lady, refined sugar is the real killer. Here we go again with the fucking refined sugar. Phil, it's all sugar. It's all sugar. There's no such thing as good sugar, okay? This is what we learned. How come somebody comes in every 5 minutes and says that? It's so fucking funny. Exactly what I thought, tied into pharma in some way. They want us sick, right? Good afternoon, Nate. Paul H. All made by the same company products. Congratulations, you received. Replying to Brandy, can't you? Cantu. Lynn Marie, I do read labels. Is it Cantu? Or can't you? Can't you? Cantu. I don't know. My bees, my bees, my bees will be beesland. Bit gray, but tolerable for summer, waiting to get stocked up. She goes, Cantu. That explains everything, Brandy. Yes, look up what's inside Parmesan cheese. Small wood pieces. Man, yesterday I went to a restaurant. I'm glad it's like my final meal before I end sugar. I had fish and chips with tartar sauce and vinegar wine. That vinegar. What do they serve with the fish and chips? I can't remember what it's called again. Malt vinegar and French fries with ketchup and a fucking Coca-Cola. I had and a refill on the Coca-Cola. I had all of that yesterday. And this morning I woke up, I got on the scale, I was 180 pounds. Because yesterday I was down to 178. I was down to 178. I was like, yeah, I gained 2 fucking pounds from eating that fucking meal. You know, and then I pigged out on some more sugar last night. You know, I had some ice cream with some chocolate milk and some Oreo cookies. I normally do. This is why I always have belly fat. Because I like to have these little snacks. I'm always rationalizing that, well, I can have, you know, little sugar snacks throughout the day because I'm burning it off. You know, because I'm running around the property all day and I'm fucking killing myself. I am clogging up my arteries and I am fattening up my liver to the point to where it can't operate properly. I'm storing excess water weight and carrying that around. You've been using chicken manure in your garden and the nitrogen. Yeah, I don't like the smell of chicken manure. So I recommend, Lynn, if the smell of chicken manure is disgusting. So I recommend that that anybody that's gardening use earthworm castings that has no smell. Yeah, and Miracle-Gro is pure shit. But, you know, if you can deal with the smell of chicken shit, yeah, if you can deal with the smell of chicken shit, I don't know anybody personally who likes the smell of chicken shit. I've never met the first person to say they appreciate it. Let me tell you something. That's a place of harmony right there, okay? This is a place of peace, of relaxation, of meditation, and of becoming one with things that are growing out of the earth. And the last thing I want to do in a place like that is smell chicken shit while I'm doing it. That's one of that, and then I got another friend who swears by horse shit, and I'm like, I think it was Chris P, and I'm like, dude, it smells like horse shit. And he's like, I like the smell. I'm like, you're fucking psychotic. But hey, to each their own, right? To each their own. You do what you're going to do. I recommend to make your place where you're growing as pleasant as possible so that you'll spend the most amount of time in there. And if it smells like shit, you're subconsciously you're going to want to get out of there sooner. You know, not even thinking about it. You're like, God, I just want to breathe fresh air. Unless you're Chris P and you like the smell of horse shit. I mean, that's literally, he said that in here. And if you do like the smell of horse shit, then kudos to you because yes, horse shit is a good medium for, you know, partial medium for growing, but just about any kind of castings that you get from anything will be great. You know, someone asked me the other day about an aquarium. You know, think about an aquarium. Yeah, you know, aquarium water's good. Does your aquarium have a filter in it that's filtering out all the fish shit and stuff, making your water nice and crystal clear? Your water's not as full of nutrients as you might think it is, but it's not bad for your plants. It's just not going to make them explode. It's not full of microorganisms. It's more of the stuff that microorganisms would probably appreciate. You know, because there is some level of fish droppings inside the water. But you know, when you're talking about aquaponics and stuff, they probably don't even need a filter system on them. They probably just use a plants get rid of the ammonia. I think the plants get rid of the ammonia. You might not even need a filter on aquaponics. They probably do have filters, but there may be a different kind of filter for aquaponics because you don't want to take out the stuff that the plants are eating. You know, the nitrogen and stuff. And when you're taking phosphates out of the water, you're pulling out nitrogen. The water that comes here out of my well even is got some phosphates in it. And you can see that, like, if you spill water on a black surface, you'll end up with a white ring where the water droplet was, or you'll see it out on the car outside. If you leave it, you end up with white water spots, and those are the phosphates in the water. They barely show up on a ppm meter, but plants love it. The phosphates are good for plants, not good for fish. You could poison your fish with too much of that. So it's good to put something in there to take the phosphates out. Plants will eat those phosphates. So I immediately put plants around I literally set potted plants inside the shallow part of the pond so their roots were right in there. And those plants are huge plants today. They're on the side of my pond, but they're also in the dirt. They're partially in the dirt and their roots are partially in the water. And they're there to filter out the phosphates so the fish don't die. Because I pump fresh water into that pond every day. At least once a day. It gets like 20 minutes of water every day. So, Sean, Trendy Orca, what's up, buddy? I used it outside, so it's disappeared. But yeah, it was stinky. Ugh. So what's the best tea then? Vegetable compost tea. I swear by it. And I'll tell you how to make it, okay? I drink coffee and I eat eggs. That is your coffee grounds and eggshells are your staple right there. Now, you know, yeah, I just bought a bunch of bananas. I wasn't thinking, and now I'm not going to be eating. I'll finish those. I shouldn't, man. I want to stop sugar now. I just bought bananas. I wonder if something outside would eat them. You know, like if I sliced them up, like if a raccoon would come eat them, or I put them way up on the mountain and let a bear eat it. You know, so I'm not eating sugar. I should fucking just cut it out. But, where was I? Fuck, man, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. Vegetable compost. Good day. Ty, what's up, buddy? Paul H. Was it Brandy? Replied to Nick Brown. Nick Brown, did you start growing feathers? It's the best. Good morning. And it's like taking an antidepressant. Right. Anye Ayaba. Let's not call it weed then. If you're saying it's got uses, then the word weed would be the wrong word to use because the word weed means a useless plant. And so you just said cannabis has antidepressant qualities, anti-anxiety qualities, sleeping pill qualities, muscle relaxant qualities, personal therapist qualities, and rolls them all up into one. And then you call it weed, right? Right? So let's call it cannabis. Hope everyone has a terrific Tuesday. Karen, right on. Let them rot and add them to the plants. They act as fertilizer. Raccoon, bear, skunks. You can cut them up and freeze for your dog. Oh, I can give them the dog as treats, frozen. Okay, thank you, Lisa. That's what I'll do. Is it okay to give I don't know if I should be giving sugar to the dog, though. You know, it's like I don't want to poison him, too. Waste bonfire, just waiting to get a Rotovator. Okay. Word is blasphemous here. Cannabisism, tisms for all. Lynn Marie, did you see all the retweets and comments? You do this again. You do this every fucking day, Karen. Karen, fucking stop. Every day I gotta tell you to fucking stop, man. Seriously. Wow, man. You just never end. It never ends with you. It's always about you, Karen. So let's talk about how I make this vegetable compost tea instead of Karen getting her little pat on the back for clicking a fucking button on a computer screen. Which everybody should just be fucking doing, and nobody should be making a big fucking deal about it. Like you want to be pet over it. Karen, you fucking know if you're doing it or not. Alright, don't sit there and play dumb with me. I hate this whole playing dumb shit. I have to go through this with you every day, it seems like. So just stop. Okay, just stop. Alright, I want to tell everybody about making vegetable compost and how easy it is. Thank you, Chris Meadows. I'm going to tell everybody the secret. You guys ready? This is what's in the soil. It's so simple. The staple is coffee grounds and eggshells. Okay, you take a Glad 2-gallon plastic bag, okay, the freezer bag. They're nice and heavy, and you start putting in your coffee grounds. I'm drinking coffee right now, black. Okay, just listen to me. I'm going to tell you what to do. You take your and those of you who aren't going to listen to this, that are going to leave this broadcast right now, let me tell you something. This is the kind of information you need. You might think you're someplace where, I go to a store and I buy my food, or I'm nowhere near. Let me tell you something. It's not going to last forever, guys. And those of you who have this knowledge in your mind, you'll be able to survive. So don't walk out on this show just because I'm talking about something that you don't think you're interested in. It's not about whether or not you're interested in this. It's about saving your own life. So don't walk out on the show right now. I noticed a couple of people leaving. Don't do it. You're making a huge mistake. Get a 2-gallon Glad plastic. I use those all the time for all kinds of things. They're great. The freezer bags. Coffee grounds, eggshells, and then anything vegetable in the house that you eat that rots, that goes bad, goes right in the bag. The end of an onion, the bottom of a lettuce goes bad, tomato goes bad, that goes in there. For those of you who choose to eat fruit, even though I don't recommend it, apple cores, banana peels, the core of anything, and of course the seeds along with it. Always include the seeds in your vegetable compost, right? Zucchini makes excellent fibrous material in your compost. Remember, you're going to chop this all up with a shovel anyway. You want to avoid meat. Basically, the things that you shouldn't be putting in your body anyway. You shouldn't be eating meats. You shouldn't be eating oils and fats. Well, you don't want to put those in your compost too much. Now, something that is good to put into the compost is bone meal and blood meal. So if you were able to take meat and grind it up and powderize it and put it in, that's the ideal way to distribute all of those nutrients throughout the soil. But when you put just raw meats into your vegetable compost, and this is why we call it vegetable compost, because you kind of want to avoid meat, you'll attract pests, all kinds, bad pests. Flies will want to lay their larvae in there. You don't want flies. You don't want to attract flies. You don't want bears, raccoons, squirrels. You don't want birds of prey, scavenger birds, scavenger animals, rats, mice, roaches, any of those things coming to your compost pile. If you leave the meats out and the fats out, they won't go. So, you're going to want to gather up your local soil outside. Hopefully you've got some just general, what I've got here is a volcanic based, it's almost like a sand, but it's almost got some like clay quality to it. It turns out that my local soil here is really good for what grows out. If you look out in my backyard, you look out the window, you'll notice that the plants and everything is beautiful and green, the forest behind me. So the local soil is pretty good. It consists mostly of the things that fall from the trees, all the throughout the seasons, and that all breaks down and is mixed in with the raining and any of the animals coming by that die, or they leave their droppings in there. And there's a lot of deer and rabbits. They're always leaving droppings everywhere. This stuff all goes in. It all becomes soil. And I get this, that just natural. I'm pretty lucky. Hopefully you live in an area where you can just dig up some local. And if you can't, you go to a store and you buy this brand, okay? Don't ask me about other brands. I'm going to tell you the one brand that you should buy. ProMix. ProMix soil. They usually come in big cubes, but you can get bags. I don't recommend anything else. Don't ask me about any other brand. I'm telling you what I think you should use. If you're lucky enough to find Recipe 420, fucking grab it. Grab it. It's good. They do have other things out there that are full of all kinds of whatever in there. That's great. I'm not going to recommend any of those because I'm going to tell you what you put in your soil yourself, and you don't have to rely on your soil company to give you stuff. Sometimes you can end up with bugs. And if you're not going to buy anything, don't ever buy Fox Farm anything. Now that we're on the subject, stay the fuck away from Fox Farm. It's a fucking scam. Stay away from it. Okay, now, the next thing, the most important thing you're going to throw in there is your animal castings. I recommend earthworm castings, but you can use cow manure, horse manure. There's communes out there where they use people shit. I don't recommend it. You don't want your own garden to smell like human feces. I think it's the stupidest thing, but it's possible. Rabbit manure, chicken manure. There's others out there. You can use whatever you can get your hands on, but if you're lucky enough to have a local garden center or access to something like Amazon that can deliver it, you can literally just get earthworm castings. There's no smell, and you can literally grow right in it. The next ingredient is perlite, not vermiculite. Don't be confused. You're not going to want to use vermiculite. It's very similar, but just go ahead and get the perlite instead. The reason why is because the perlite does more. It produces space, it holds moisture, and it allows those roots to get the oxygen and the moisture that they need simultaneously because of the water holding properties. So always go for the perlite over the vermiculite. Those are the massive ingredients to put in. Okay? The everything else that we're going to be talking about is going to be amendments. But what I've just given you is the base for your soil. Okay? When you're doing you've got your vegetable compost, so you're going to mix your vegetable compost in with your local soil. I'm doing like 25%, 75%. So 25% vegetable compost to 75% vegetable local soil. You could do 50-50. You could do 25-75 the other way. You could even grow in vegetable compost, but I don't recommend it because it's pretty stinky stuff, and it's really nice to dilute it with just some dirt. Dilute it out, and then you'll get more. You get a lot more, and it works great. Plants don't need 100% vegetable compost. So now we've talked about the vegetable compost. There's other things that can go in there. Lawn cuttings are great. Grass, regular, just straight St. Augustine grass cuttings. If you can throw that in there, that's great. Active compost, any kind of green type of cuttings from any kind of plants. Avoid foxtails and weeds, things that are hard to chop up. And you're going to take a shovel and chop all that stuff up once you throw your bag. And I could show you a bag of vegetable compost. I've got one here that hasn't gone outside yet, so you can get an idea. This is a 1 gallon bag, and you can literally see all the bacterial mold growth in there. That is all mold growing in there, man. That is all active and ready. You could literally just poke some holes in this bag, some nice big holes in it, and drop this in a bin of water, and you'd have a vegetable compost tea within 24 hours. You want to run a air circulator inside the bin, an air pump, just to get air bubbles in there, and just always keep that on 24/7. And your vegetable compost, your tea will stay alive forever. It's like a fish tank. It's alive. It's like there's fish that live in the water. Well, there's bacteria that live in the water, and people want you to think that they only live for 24 hours. That way you'll keep buying their products. It's not true. When you make compost and you make an environment for the bacteria to survive in the compost tea, they're not going anywhere, man. They're going to keep, as long as there's food in there, they'll stay in there alive and eating and generating the activity that the roots for your plants are craving. It doesn't matter if it's 24 hours, and it doesn't matter if it's 24 months. That bin of water is still active, I'm telling you. The plants will love it. And I'll prove it to you. Yeah, Oreos are out. Yep, Oreos are gone. I stopped my Oreo delivery. Hey, you know what we've got? Let's celebrate the no more Oreos. We've got a smoke ring. A smoke ring. Here, let me fix this here. Let me grab this. Where do we want to go with the grow? Got a beautiful place for smoke rings here. So let's do this. Let's blow some smoke rings. Cheers. And thank you for all of you guys that are remembering to share this on social media for me. You guys, thank you so much. And I'm giving you some really valuable information on the show today. I hope you guys will share it around. And when you share it on Twitter, don't just share the video. You share it and write a comment with the video, and you say, Nay is literally talking about things that will save your life in the future on this show. Do something like that. Thank you. Cheers. Right in the sunbeam. So you watch from YouTube now. Brandy can too. I didn't title mine. Thank you, Brandy. That helps so much to get people here. So now that we've got our soil, now we need to throw our amendments in it. And the amendments are in this order of importance. Okay, you want to get these for sure. Bat guano, number 1. Okay, and use it very sparingly, but that's why you've got it. It's going to supply an instant uptake of nitrogen at a healthy dose as long as you put a light amount on there at a perfect rate. What you want your plants to have. Remember the 3 B's: bat guano, bone meal, blood meal. Remember I said you don't want to throw actual meats on your compost pile if you can avoid it. If you can grind the meats and bones up, powderize them like they do in a meat processing plant. If you have the ability to do that, then you're way better off. Go to and all of these things are available at any garden center, and they're very affordable. All of this stuff is very inexpensive, and you can stock up on it, guys. You can get 50-pound bags of this stuff. So go ahead and do it. You're gonna be thankful that you have all of this if you get into gardening. Okay? Bone meal, blood meal, bat guano. Those are your 3 B's. I'm repeating them because they're that important. Now the rest of the amendments are as follows. Fish meal, very important. Fish bone meal, alfalfa meal, cottonseed meal. Almost any garden center is going to have these in a row. Just grab every single meal that they have. And they'll be full of mycorrhizae too. Mycorrhizae. In this order, this is really important. You buy the mycorrhizae too. They'll have a canister of it. Get the cheapest one they got. You don't have to spend a lot of money on bacteria. You know, you're paying for a name or a bottle or fancy whatever the fuck, whatever they're spending to advertise their product. So get the cheapest one, okay? And now potash, Epsom salts, rock phosphate. It's generally, I think they call it soft rock or hard rock phosphate. I can't remember but get that. And cheers, treasure. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that goes into that soil. Compost tea, which is really easy to make. I showed you that bag. That bag, you make the compost and you drop it in the water. I mean, you can literally just dump that in water. Or you put it in a free-flowing bag. You know, like a tea bag, a huge, like a 20-gallon tea bag. I'm telling you, man, I've got them. You get them on Amazon. They're zipper bags. You fill them up with compost dirt, zip it up, throw it in a 50-gallon drum of water, put an air tube in there, and boom, within 24 hours, you'll have compost tea. It'll last you forever. Don't worry, you don't have to use it within 24 hours. We already talked about that. Okay. You put that in there as well. Water it, water it, water it, water it, water it. Think of your soil zone as an aquarium. Think of all the little fish swimming in an aquarium, and they're in the water swimming around, and then think of all the little tiny microbacteria that you don't see that are swimming in that water with them. What happens when the water dries out? They got nowhere to go. They got nothing to do, right? They're not going to die off, but they're not going to be active. So keep that that soil well drained and keep it wet. So I water 3 times a day, and I go out there a 4th time and I water the top with a garden hose, and I make sure to water it, soak it in. The watering on each plant is nowhere near enough to keep all of those pots saturated like they need. You need to saturate, but you need good drainage. And as long as you've used lots and lots of perlite, you can water all day, and the water's going to go right through there. But you got to use lots of perlite. How much perlite? Up to 50% of how much soil you've got in there. That's how much perlite you can put in, so you still have a lot of good nutrient stuff. Now, you could go almost 90% perlite. That soil would look totally white with 10% of that vegetable compost, and your plants would grow. It'd be fine. But there won't be as much bacteria in there, and there won't be as much good stuff in there for the roots. Manures and your potash and your Epsom salts, all the meals that you threw in there. Well, it's interesting not only, but it'll save your life. This kind of information can save your life if people just realized how important it was to just sit for a few minutes and learn it. Because a lot of people, they won't go to my website and read the how to grow 4 pounds, which explains everything. I'm basically just reciting what it says on the website. I bet you if I went there, I'd see a few things that I forgot, that I left off. There's a few amendments that I'm probably forgetting. Yeah, perlite. That's how you spell it, perlite. You could see the perlite. You can literally see the perlite on my pots there, guys. If you look in those pots, you see all the white. Weak water to water with around roots. Rag weak water. I don't know what rag weak water is, so maybe I should pull up the website, man. I'm just going to pull up the website really quick. It's naysgarden.com, you guys. Triageoil.com, naysgarden.com. Your connection is not private, it says. So just click advanced and click proceed to triage oil. When it says your connection is not private. That is just so stupid. I need some kind of a overhaul on my website so someone can tell me why it does that. And there's a picture of Dino on a ladder looking at my tops of my cannabis plants years ago. And you scroll down, there's Hutch. Secret to growing like a Northern California outdoor pro is compost. Compost in the soil and feed with compost tea as often as possible. If you apply this method to cannabis or any other plants like vegetables and fruit, you will be amazed at the results. Let's start by building our soil. Following these simple steps will allow you to grow as much as 4 pounds on a single outdoor plant. Soil and compost. A good base soil can be bought in a garden center, at any hardware store, or simply dug up from a healthy area where plants are already thriving. We love Recipe 420, and if you are lucky enough to find this brand, your plants will thank you. The next ingredient is manure. I suggest earthworm castings, but you can use cow, chicken, or other forms of manure. This is excellent food for the bacteria we want to flourish in our root zone. I like to add perlite instead of vermiculite, as perlite stores both air and water. You can add 1/5 the amount of your soil of perlite and 1/4 of your soil total manure. The next thing I like to add, I refer to as the 3 Bs. Bat guano, blood meal, and bone meal. These can entail 1/20th of your soil total amount. I usually add enough of these amendments. 1/20th is too much. It's probably 1/100th. I should probably change that. I usually add enough of these amendments to cover the top of the soil area and then rake it in. In addition to these meals, please consider, it's probably more like 1/200th. Consider adding cottonseed meal, alfalfa meal, kelp meal. I left out kelp, guys. There it is. Kelp, so important. Happy 420. Fishbone meal, Epsom salt, potash, diatomaceous earth, and mycorrhizae, the beneficial bacteria that we're feeding in the soil to make it active and encourage our roots to uptake nutrients. In addition, I love to add an ocean or kelp-based slow-release fertilizer into the soil as well. I use Marine Cuisine, but many other different brands. Now I'm using Liquinox, guys. Fish fertilizer by Liquinox. I do have some Marine Cuisine. I am going to throw in, actually. I do have some. I found some bags. I'm so excited. I'm going to incorporate that into. I also encourage people to use kitchen scraps, but never meat products. Cheese and eggshells are perfect. Coffee grounds, any rotting vegetables, cut scraps, onion ends, celery base, and more. We keep a 2-gallon plastic bag near the sink and fill it with these scraps, and every few weeks we dig a hole in the compost pile and dump it in. Keep the compost pile covered with a tarp and moist at all times to encourage healthy bacterial growth and discourage pests from investigating. Remember, the larger the grow pot, the larger your yield, so go as big as you possibly can. Go as big as you possibly can when buying a pot or digging your outdoor holes. Unobstructed full sunlight is suggested but not required. The higher power light for indoors, the better. I suggest 600 watt at least. Watering for soil gardens, which is the only growing I recommend, I suggest watering 2 to 3 times a day in small amounts and feeding as often as possible in between or every other day. I use automatic watering timers on both my indoor. This is great information. It's all there. It's all there. It's all free. It's all been there for years. Just when it says you're being tracked or something, just click advanced and click enter website. I don't know why that does that. I thought it was the map, but I'm pretty sure I removed the map and it's still doing it. And I'm like, well, what's on there now? It's something in the HTML code somewhere. Google Analytics or something? It wouldn't be that, though, right? Everybody uses that. You can't go wrong. Yeah, I know. Those plants look beautiful. I mean, look how healthy they are. I've already sprayed them twice for bugs. I think I'm going to spray them every other day for bugs for like a long time. I'm thinking I'm going to spray them every other day for bugs until they get into flower. And then I'll stop. I do not want to have fucking bugs on them when they go into flower, because then we're fucked, man. What are we going to do? Spray them, and then you got to dry them immediately. Got to spray them, rinse them, and then fucking dry them. And boy, oh boy, when those plants are that big, man, and you got huge buds on there and drying those buds, it's hard. And you can't get all the water off them, man. You got to be out there for hours and hours and hours to do that shit. Shake the water out, use a blower, all that shit, man. It's a disaster. I wish there was an organic method that would just knock those fuckers out 100%. But I remember when we were in the indoor business and friends were telling me, yeah, we're using this, we're using that. It's systemic. I'm like, you can't use that shit, man. They're like, it works. I'm like, yeah, but you're poisoning the whole fucking plant. It's systemic. You're saying it yourself. You know? You're not just pouring something on the outside and then able to rinse it off or wear off. You're putting something inside that plant and people are smoking it. That cannot be good. How about some rosemary plants in the greenhouse? Get a bunch of plants from Walmart, place them throughout the grow. I've got rosemary already. I don't think I'd have a problem obtaining it. I've got rosemary right here in my yard. I mean, then I would never have bugs, you think, if I put rosemary in there? Okay, Google. Will planting rosemary around my garden keep all the bugs out? Okay, Google. Will planting rosemary around my garden repel bugs?
According to Budget Dumpster, rosemary. It can also be used as a companion plant for cabbage, carrots, and beans. This plant repels mosquitoes, cabbage loopers, carrot flies, Mexican bean beetles. Tips for growing rosemary. Rosemary comes in 2 forms, herb or landscaping shrub.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it repels the things that I have to worry about. Thrips, spider mites, and aphids. None of those were mentioned. Indeed, my ass. Dude, I don't think you understand spider mites or aphids. They are tenacious. They're determined. And I don't think a companion plant is going to be enough to keep a spider mite away from a 12-foot tall cannabis tree, bro. They fly in on little tiny webs. They're almost microscopic, but they're not microscopic. I mean, you can see them with the naked eye. I don't have anything here. Yeah, there's something here that's small enough that I could show you on my desk that's literally as small as a spider mite. They are all over Florida. Spider mites? Really? I'd never seen a spider mite until I moved to California. And I lived in Florida for fucking 40 years. Chinese parsley. Hey, Doc. Yeah, but, bro, will Chinese parsley repel a spider mite that flies in on a web, right? Check me out now. On a plant that's 12 feet tall and 30 feet around, bro? You've got a Spanish slug problem in the UK. It's crazy. I just don't think that companion plants are the answer to spider mites, guys. You know, people are like, oh, ladybugs. I'm like, yeah, ladybugs eat spider mites. They eat 30 spider mites a day. Spider mites produce millions within, it's exponential. And there's really no population of ladybugs that you're going to be able to sustain inside your grow that's going to be able to take out all of those. And then you got ladybug poop all over your buds. And dead ladybugs and ladybug wings and... You know, if I'm thinking right now about sealing that fucker up, and it'd be possible, but, you know, when you put fans on it, it would need like air conditioning instead of fans in order to do that. You need a filter because fans are just going to blow them in. Fans will blow spider mites right in. They fly through the air, man. It only takes one spider mite. It only takes one spider mite, man. And they're everywhere. I think They might even be on one of the local plants here. I'm not sure which one. Okay, Google. What plant do spider mites prefer?
According to LawnStarter, inside plant spider mites favor include ornamental flowers and shrubs.
Ornamental. That's flowering plants. I don't have a lot of those. Got a dogwood. I got like 2 dogwoods. I've got... What else puts out flowers? Oh! The mullein does. But, man, I don't think spider mites can bite through the mullein. It's so thick and velvety. There's no way spider mite can bite through that shit. Bet you the leaves are way too thick for their little tiny spider mite teeth. Oh man, dude, they're so destructive. They suck the juice out of your leaves. That's what spider mites do. And if that's not bad enough, they do it one little tiny pointillism dot at a time. If that's not bad enough, check out what spider mites do to your plant. Everywhere they walk, they leave a little web behind them. So as a spider mite walks, it leaves a trail of webbing. They will, very often, they will travel along these webs like little highways. But over time, as you get more and more spider mites, and you will get millions of them, they eventually will crisscross and broaden these little highways to the point that it literally becomes saran wrap consistency wrapped over your buds. It looks like this. It looks like this. This is what your plants look like. Looks like saran wrap. This is all spider mite webbing. It all comes right off too. You can wipe it off with a microfiber towel. You can wipe it off. But boy, oh boy, man, once they get to that point, if you don't know what you're doing, you know, your plants are gone. But if you know what you're doing, you can beat them and you can get rid of them. Even when they're covered like that, like saran wrap. They tripled in size. Am I your growing guru? Thank you, Tabitha. Yeah, they're beautiful, man. You can't even see plants 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 4, 5, and 6 are really big, especially plant number 4. Plant number 4 is huge. Plant number 1, though, is looking great, man. Plant number 1 every year always is the biggest plant in the grow. It'll be interesting to see if this one goes past 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it'll be interesting if 2 and 3 catch up, man. But for now, we've got a nice pole bean coming out of pot number 3. We've got potatoes protruding from pots number 1 and 2. Tomatoes from almost all the pots. Zucchinis from almost all the pots. So 4 kinds of vegetables and cannabis. That's 5 different kinds of plants, all growing simultaneously. And the only other natural plants besides the cannabis ones that I planted in there that are growing because they're not out of my vegetable compost are the potatoes. Everything else is literally growing naturally out of my vegetable compost. And that is the beauty of vegetable compost. Is like I told you, leave the seeds. When you put a rotten tomato or a rotten zucchini in your compost bag, leave the seeds. You will get these gifts of plants of your soil when you make it right and they're in the right condition and you water it and you water it and you water it. That's the key, because it's the watering that gets down there where those seeds have rotten. The plant, the vegetable around them is rotten. It's rotted away and it's left in just the soil, and that water hits it and they sprout, and you will get those sprouts and you will see them in your vegetable compost pile. And if you're good enough to get them out and carefully transplant them into your garden, you will have vegetables. You won't even have to plant seeds. You won't even need seeds. Seedless gardening. That's what I need to call this. Seedless gardening. It's a new name. There you go. I just invented something. Seedless organic gardening. Everyone's always worried about, dude, we're going to run out of seeds. We're going to run out of seeds. We're going to run out of seeds. Not if you plant a garden every year. If you plant a garden every year and you do vegetable composting like I do, fruits and vegetables, when you're doing it big, they fall into the dirt, man, and you don't see them. They fall in there, and they get covered up. They rot. The seeds get exposed. And when you're doing the vegetable compost, you're putting the seeds in there through your vegetables that you eat. But you don't have to harvest out your seeds. Now, the one thing that doesn't sprout are peppers. I don't get green peppers or hot peppers for some reason. I've noticed that. And I do eat those. And the green pepper cores do go into my vegetable compost. But I have yet to see green peppers. And I'd love to be growing green peppers. So I've planted them before. I usually don't do really good with green peppers. Like I'll get one plant that'll come up. I'll plant a whole bunch of green peppers. And like one plant will come up. And that one plant will do okay. And I'll get some nice green peppers off of it. And they taste great. But often bath with Bluetooth speaker. Right on. That's what you guys should do. Way to go, Paul, man. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. The current CPU usage ratio is too high. 67%. All right, looks okay to me. And the other great advantage to doing this gardening thing is the exercise, being outdoors. It really has improved my general welfare, my physicality, outside breathing fresh air, in the sunlight. Sunlight's healthy, and being around the plants and watching the plants grow and becoming one with the organics, being a part of that. It's like it breathes life into you. It gives you energy. I'm going to have such a hard time avoiding sugar now. I'm going to have to check all the ingredients of everything I eat. The way to do it is just to get rid of everything in the house that has sugar. Then you don't have to. It's not about cravings or anything like that. It's just like accidentally eating something you don't realize has sugar in it. But they said for the first 3 days, you might feel groggy. You might get, withdrawal symptoms from. Think about that, guys. You get withdrawal symptoms from stopping sugar. And if you don't think that sugar's unhealthy, then just think about that. Tabitha, thank you so much. I'm going to put that on Twitter. I'm going to put that on my Twitter right now. But, you've learned all of this from my channel, but social media doesn't want people to see me. So, this is hilarious. Thank you so much for this tweet. tweet this out on all 3 of my accounts. There we go. Thank you, Tabitha. Oh, Rogue, you want to go outside? All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Hour and a half. We gave you a ton of information. And you guys could take that information and share it all over the internet. People could be growing just like this. Don't let anything stop you from doing this, okay, guys? Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. All right? You guys are the best. Bye-bye.